guys coming in with parts like mine. Were mine pretty typical, or do you see other common themes that you didn't see with mine?
Your parts were horrendous. Your parts were horrendous.
I thank you.
I'm honestly.
Welcome to the Guys with Their Rides podcast. I'm Rudy Samsel, the co-founder of GuysWithRides, the trusted dealer-free resource for classic and collector car enthusiasts like you and me. Bringing back the podcast after a long break, and I couldn't think of a better guest than Marty Baker, the owner of NEL Metal Restorations. And the reason we met was Project Big Red, the 1960 Lincoln Continental Mark V convertible is in the paint shop right now as we're recording this. Joe, in the other videos you've seen, the mechanic I work with, Marty did his El Camino chrome, and he highly recommended him. It was the first name that came to mind. I'm here to pick up the chrome today and talk to Marty about the business. Marty, welcome.
Pleasure to be here with you today, Rudy.
Yeah. So not only what intrigued me is we're going to go through the cars that are in here a little bit and walk you through, because there's a beautiful GMC pickup I'm looking over at, a very custom rod we're going to talk about. To our right here is a frame for a 60 Corvette Resto mod, and with the body and the paint booth. So we'll talk more about that. So, all right, enough of me talking. Marty, what got you into metal restorations?
I started off as a kid. I was in a trade school, and I started working part-time at a place called Martin's Metals, which back in, I guess, the 80s, they were the best on the East Coast. Nobody could touch them. Started off as a stripper, just worked my way up, and, just general. But there were things going on, and I'm watching. And as a matter of fact, I have a piece here that I'll refer to in a minute. So as I'm watching, they're sending parts out for repairs and things of this nature, and they're coming back, and guys are saying it can't be done. And I'm thinking to myself, I'd like to try that. So I actually wound up asking the owner, Harry Martin, if I can come in early and I can play around with some old parts. I said, absolutely, how about it?
Nice.
So one piece that really stuck out, I mean, this is what really got me going, took me over the edge, is this Packard hood emblem. We had a gentleman come in, and he had a national car, but the arms were broken off. And this is not the exact one, but he gave us this piece here, and he said, is there any way you can take the arms off and put it onto his? And said, welding diecast. Everybody see, welding diecast can't be done back then. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, if diecast is a pot metal, and you're heating it up into a molten phase, why can't I do something on the lines of that?
Yeah.
So I did I made my own rods. It's proprietary information. I'm not going to share that.
Very cool.
But from that point, I was able to repair his actual hood emblem. He came in, he was blown away. I mean, completely blown away. And at that point, he said, here, kid, keep this one. Back then, I don't know what it was worth back then, but these things are worth some money now.
It's so funny you show me that, because the gentleman that owns that 60 Lincoln Continental,
right?
He had two Packards that he sold in the past year. And the 33 had one, same emblem, the radiator cap, and the arm is slightly broken in repair.
Right.
Yeah. And so I can fully appreciate what you had to do to fix that. And that is stunning. And that's going back how many years? 40 years now.
Yeah, that's going back quite a while.
Yeah, okay.
It's funny, actually, who got me started in it was my shop teacher. I was going to school for precision sheet metal. And there was a gentleman, his name was Paul Black, and he's passed now. But my God, this man was genius. And he was doing the repairs. And when Paul said this couldn't be done, everybody said, it can't be done.
Wow.
So I played with it on my own time. And I worked over the weekend. I was really proud when I got it done. So I put the finished piece on my boss's desk for Monday morning. And he came in, he looked at it, and I'm waiting for him to come out and say something to me. And I see him looking, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that? I said, I repaired it. Now, where'd you get that? I repaired it. There's no way. And once I showed him that I did it, well, that was a game changer. That was a game changer. Now I'm no longer a general employee. I'm handling all of their high-end repairs. And that's where it took off from there.
Very cool. Very cool.
So that's an important piece. I've kept it all these years. I should have had it plaqued.
And that just goes back to we need to bring shop back in high schools. And,
yeah.
I mean, we need, but I'll leave it at that. We really do.
Well, you can't do that from a keyboard.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
That's for sure. AI ain't going to do that.
Right.
For sure. So your website says you're master metal finishers. What's the part that's most rewarding or challenging for you?
To see something that should never be put back that I can restore and make it new again. Obviously we all get up and we come to work for the dollar, but at the end of the day, when you're able to perform something like that, it's just truly rewarding. And there's no dollar value on that.
Yeah. Very good. Did you run into any challenges with the Lincoln?
Honestly, Rudy, when you came in, these parts, that was another one like I discussed with you. These parts were really bad. Unfortunately, we're running out of parts to just find in the country.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, 20 years ago, I'd have told you, find new parts.
Okay.
A lot of the stainless steel. You had pieces that were hit, I guess, either against a wall or some point. They were completely flattened out. They put the contours back in there.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of explaining to you before, you take a piece of metal like this, but if you bend it, it kind of opens up.
Sure.
So now when you try to put it back, you have all this extra metal, and you have to be able to know how to try to shrink that back into place. So that's something that you pick up. It takes a lot of years to do.
I have such an appreciation. I see, right behind the sign here, you've got a dream metal shop. But at one point, I had bought a panel bag and that mallet set from Eastwood. I had a 68 Electra convertible, which had no sheet metal parts.
Right.
And I was starting to pound out and practice. And I don't know, it was maybe 2 days into the damn thing on a small piece. I go, what am I doing?
Right. I mean, it's not something you could just pick up and take off with. It just takes a lot of time to get the true understanding.
And that's where the cost comes in. It's all time.
Without a question.
Yeah. So I brought those parts in a couple of months ago. The chrome in particular, the traditional pitting, right? There wasn't anything really bad, but it was showing 60, almost 70 years of wear.
Right.
What did you have to do on the chrome pieces?
Well, the chrome pieces, when we first looked at them, they don't look horrible. But it's like taking a car to an auto body shop. You can look at it, but until you strip the paint and see what's really there, you don't know. Once we did strip the parts down, which is very aggressive, you have to use a sulfuric acid bath to actually pull the plating back off these pieces, and it's pretty aggressive. So once we got to that piece, like your grill bars that go across the center of the grill, it's a very thin sheet metal. So there was pitting left in them.
Okay.
This is where a lot of guys go wrong, honestly. They just try to grind away at the pitting. Next thing you know, you take in 40-50% of the actual material thickness away. The part's going to warp on you. You've destroyed the part. So, I mean, one of the key things I like to do, and I've tried to teach guys this for so many years, and they seem to get it, but then they just want to take the easy way out. I like to identify this immediately, take a quick cut on it, and then really examine the part and say, okay, this pit here, this pit here, this pit here, they're going to be too far to chase. So don't chase them. And I already know in my mind, we're going to stop, I'm going to repair them.
Okay.
So I will grind out as much as we can, but I don't want to disturb the actual thickness of the metal. So once we do that, I'll get it down and I can grind out most of it, 70, 80%. It depends what part it is. It could be 10%. It could be 99%.
Sure.
But so, yeah, we went ahead with that. And then what I do is I will fill it with the silver solder, and then we will use a acid copper to build it back up.
Okay.
And so if I'm taking, say, 20% of the material thickness away, I'll put that back on with acid copper. One of the big things that a lot of platers fail with is, you probably heard the term triple plating.
Sure.
Nothing more than copper, nickel, chrome.
Okay.
I can put 10 minutes of copper on your piece, 1 minute of nickel, and 5 seconds of chrome on it. I'm not lying to you. I triple plated your part. The industry calls for about 2 hours of acid copper for you to be able to handle what you're going to do. But with the intention and knowing that we're going to take this after it comes out of the tank, I'm probably going to use a 600 and 800 grit on it, and then I'm going to buff it, which is taking copper back off.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't account for that coming back off. So what I like to do is, knowing that we're going to do that, I like to put 3.5 hours of copper on. So when I'm done with this fine DAing and I'm done buffing, I still have the acceptable amount of copper. The copper is what really generates that high macro mirror finish.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. And all right, so we went for this car's going totally condition 3. And when we first discussed the parts, you said, oh, where do you want to go with these?
Right.
What's the difference between what we did here would probably, when this car's done, it probably could win a local show, but it's not going to a Lincoln Concours.
Right. Of course.
What would be the difference? Would you have, and I guess it's a loaded question, would you have said to me, this part, and this part, you got to find something different?
Honestly, I mean, it depends what we're talking about here.
Okay.
Back when we were in business, I do 3 different levels of plating. Your level 1 was a concourse museum quality.
Okay.
Your level 2 was an extremely nice driver/weekend show car where you can pull this into any local show and you're going to blow the competition away. Guys at those shows are like, wow, that's show chrome. It's the best I've ever seen, but there's still some minor, tiny little, pits or things like it. We call it stardust pitting. It's not a pit, but it's microscopic.
Yeah. Okay.
So for your level 1 job, every bit of that has to be redone. Might redo the part 3-4 times to get it perfect. And that's what it takes to win a concourse vehicle show. Now, what we did with your parts is we discussed the basically driver. You can pull into a local show and it's going to look decent. And they came out really nice, without a question. But the stainless steel parts, let's talk about the rocker molding.
Yeah.
They were probably the worst.
So that's a little bit different. You have to polish those.
With the stainless steel, the rocker moldings, I don't know, they had curb hits. They were really flattened. All the actual contours were all flattened. So there was a lot of work that had to be done there. Unfortunately, when it comes to stainless steel, we don't have the luxury of putting any material back on. So not only was I dealing with the fact that we had all this repair that needed to be done, but then throughout all the years of driving down the road, you get all little stone hits, sand, all debris that throws up. And it's almost like sandblasting these parts.
Right.
So that it almost creates pitting, if you will.
I can believe that. Sure.
And so, again, now we have to look at it. I can't take too much away. So it's a fine line of knowing exactly how far you can go. Going back to your question, I don't believe those parts could make it to a concourse museum quality.
Okay.
If you wanted to go concourse, you couldn't change them. If we wanted to go to a level 2 where I just want this to be gorgeous, I can start putting plating on top of the stainless steel, and then we can add some, but it's no longer stainless steel. Now it's plated, it's a lot brighter. So it wouldn't be acceptable for concourse.
Okay. And now those are the trade-offs you make, but to just about anybody that's not a late 50s Lincoln enthusiast, the car's going to look stunning.
Right.
No question.
Absolutely.
And to give you an idea, I mean, I'm still looking for 2 pieces on that car.
Right.
The driver's side lower quarter. So if anybody's out there that has them, please call me. We even went to, we were at Hershey and walked all around and couldn't find it. So it's kind of a state of the times, like you said. 20 years ago, you probably would have been finding it.
Without a question. Not only that, a lot of these guys nowadays, Hershey 20 years ago was a completely different show than it is nowadays.
Agreed.
The great old internet has taken these parts, so these guys don't need to just go to a local show. They can unload these and send them all around the world.
Right.
And it's a whole heck of a lot easier, which drives the price up. They want to hold them, especially, parts like you're saying. They know when certain parts become rare, they're going to hold these things.
Yeah. And the one guy, I had somebody reach out to me, said, I've got the parts down in Florida. I'm not going to say the name. And I said, okay, great. And we kept exchanging emails back and forth. He didn't want me to use a credit card. He either wanted me to pay with Apple Pay or Venmo.
Right.
Okay, so now the lights are going off. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I said, here's my phone number. Call me. And refused to call me. The reason I'm bringing that up is you got to be careful on Facebook and all these places now. You don't know who you're talking to.
Nothing but scammers.
Nothing but scammers. If you can't talk to them on the phone and get a read, I ended up, it was not worth, he was asking a reasonable amount of money for the part, but it just didn't, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. So
Yeah, the great old internet made things a whole heck of a lot easier for us. But boy, did it open the door for crime as well.
that's for sure. But are there common issues, with guys coming in with parts like mine? Were mine pretty typical, or do you see other common themes that you didn't see with mine?
Your parts were horrendous. Your parts were horrendous. Honestly, I'm happy that I was able to put something together to put the car back together. That's why my first and most important question is, Rudy, what are you trying to do with this car?
Yeah.
If you told me this is a concours vehicle, I wouldn't have taken the parts. I couldn't bring them there.
And I have to tell you, as a noob when it comes to the plating, the car was a 20-footer.
Right.
With that, and the chrome you could live with. But we said, okay, we're painting. That's how it goes. You start tinting it. And now I got to do this. I got to do that. So, yeah. When you say they're horrendous, I get you're in them all day.
Right.
You see them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I appreciate that.
And what did we create? We created a 10-footer.
Yeah.
When you look at this car from 10 foot away, it's going to bling. It's going to look gorgeous. I don't know how your paint's going to come out. I'm sure it's going to come out great.
Yeah.
But when you add the bright work to it, that's what makes everything pop.
And that car's such a rare car to begin with.
Right.
It's just gonna pop no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, all but the ardent late 50s. I think Lincoln guys are gonna be all over the car. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the bright work is probably one of your most expensive things to do on a vehicle. That's why guys try to chop it and cut corners and paint it and do different things. I mean, for the most part, we're not talking about young kids doing this. We're talking about guys our age that have raised their family, paid the house off, college, and now they have money because I want to do this.
Right.
I want to do this, and I'm going to do it. A lot of guys overinvest in vehicles. I do myself. We set out a project, a price, and we just go overboard.
It's so true. So true. And you advertise nationwide services. So you're based here in Philly, but I mean, I'm guessing you get chrome from all over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world.
What's the furthest you've had, or the most?
Thailand. I mean, we're the European countries.
Can you say what kind of vehicles you're doing for those? Is it?
They were multiple vehicles throughout the years.
Yeah.
From Packards to old Cadillacs. I mean,
so a lot of
everybody across the pond loves our vehicles, where we don't love them quite as much anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah, the guys are aging out that really grew up. It always comes back to, what did you grow up with and you wanted when you were a kid? You don't have an appreciation for a Packard or a Duesenberg until you're right next to the car.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that the sheer presence of that car. You think, 1930, that coming down the street, that guy had basically the guy driving that in 1930 was the Elon Musk of his time.
It's amazing the actual amount of knowledge people had back then, and I don't know where it disappeared to. A metalsmith back in those days, they were a dime a dozen. Find me a metalsmith nowadays. I'm a metalsmith. I understand all this. Find me another metalsmith, because it's almost impossible to do anymore.
So that's a great point. You're getting to the point, we're about the same age, we're getting close to retirement. Are you handing it off to the next generation? Are you looking for something?
No, I wish I could. I honestly wish I could. I had a lot of guys that I wanted to pass this off to. Some had family issues, moved away. Other guys, the biggest problem in this industry right now is anybody who's going to work in it, they either have drug or alcohol problems. They have some kind of baggage, but that's not just this industry. And labor is impossible to find.
So sorry to hear that. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're in one of the few states that still allows it.
Just go another problem. That's another problem.
So can't even do it in New Jersey, as I understand it now, right?
They're shutting all the plating shops down.
Are they doing that here in Pennsylvania?
They're trying. I mean, you have to do things correctly. We ran a closed loop system where we weren't going to the drains with anything. As a matter of fact, the Philadelphia Water Department, when I told them I was going to do this and we were first setting up, they told me it's impossible. You can't do it. Next thing you know, come in and I'm showing them what we're doing, and they're kind of blown away, honestly.
Good.
They're blown away. And, they actually asked me if I would put together a journal that they could share with other shops. And honestly, it's another proprietary information that I don't feel that I need to share. It doesn't matter anyway. The EPA is out there. And it used to be so many of these platers that their waste treatment plants were the back door. So, you know, that was one of my big things. Is we all have children. We all have grandchildren. I don't want to ever be a part of destroying our waterways or our watersheds. And if it came to that, and it's the difference of making $1 or destroying our watershed, I'm walking away every time.
Yeah.
Other guys are taking $1.
You're a rare breed right now. I hate to say it. Yeah,
Kind of.
I hate to say it.
A dinosaur in this industry, honestly.
I hate to see it, you know, just it's getting rarer and rarer. So since you've gotten into this from a business standpoint, what else has changed besides just maybe the kinds of cars you're working on, or is it I know the state pressure, EPA pressure
Right.
are probably the biggest things. We talked about the labor.
Right.
Any other market dynamics as far
It's, you know, it's not just this industry, it's every industry.
Yeah.
All the rules have changed. Go back 20 years ago and then look at where we were as a country, as people back then, and look at where we are now. So everything has changed, not just there, but through every industry. Labor's horrible. You have the EPA, which, I mean, believe me, is very important. Again, getting back to it, that we don't harm our watershed.
I couldn't agree more.
But they go too far. You know, for example, the water department wants to come in and they test us for chemistry and things of that nature. Okay, test us for everything we have on hand, but they'll come in with a laundry list of 200 chemicals that has never even been in our facility, and you want to test for that, and then you want to charge us for that as well. Well, you can't keep absorbing all this money. You have to pass it to the customer. Sure. I think we did talk about that a while back, you know, many years ago. And basically it came back in the 08 area, where after the crash, prices of precious metals started to run through the roof and everything just got crazy. Yeah. So we had an option back then. You know, I spent a whole heck of a lot of money on advertising. We had a basis that people knew us. Whoever knew us, and whoever didn't, well, they didn't get the word of mouth. Yep. But I had the choice then, do I start to increase pricing like everybody else did? Do I start to chop quality like everybody else did? Or do I try to pull advertising? So that's what I did. I pulled advertising. I did not chop quality. I did not chop the amount of plating and precious metals we're putting on these cards.
Or did he fly in to see what
he was actually from Boston? So yeah, he was coming in from out of state that had it done, and you know, a lot of guys, it's crazy how far they'll actually drive to get quality, and I guess you have to. Yeah. You know, if nobody in your state is actually doing quality work, what option do you have?
And I'm sure knowing Massachusetts, they probably have made it very difficult.
I mean, and then it comes back to the simple fact of, am I doing this for the dollar, or, you know, if I'm doing it for the dollar only, I'm going to get a part to like, oh, that's almost okay, send it. Or, all right, I'll lose money on this. I'll lose money on this to make it right. But that always comes back. And you know what? I don't know how many people you're going to find that are going to do that. They're going to say, listen, I'll lose money on this part, but my name's on it, and I want it to be right.
That's how it should be. Yeah, yeah. Very cool. I can't thank you enough. We're looking forward to getting the car back. With all the chrome on the car, we forgot the door handles until we were taking it over to the paint shop. So
well, right.
I'll have to bring those over.
Make sure to get back to you.
I'm scared because now
the loss. It's not us. It's a UPS or FedEx or
it's. You said those parts were horrendous. I didn't think they were that bad. These just have your typical, what I would call, they're not deep pits.
Right.
They're not hot metal pits, but it's that. Is there a term for it? When you look at the chrome, you can see it.
Getting into pot metal. Here's another thing that people don't understand. Pot metal is nothing more than zinc diecast. Zinc diecast is the only material that will erode from the inside. So what'll happen is you'll see every piece of diecast. You'll see it starts off as the contamination rises to the surface. You'll see first the blister, then the blister pops, and your pit's underneath. Fortunately, with your door handles, we're not talking about a very thin piece of die-cast. It's a nice, heavy piece of die-cast, so they're a lot easier to work on.
Interesting. Okay.
Again, very important. Identifying how far can I go with this part.
Yeah.
and where immediately I know I'm going to go this far, I'm going to stop, and this area is going to be repaired. That's where guys fail all the time. They grind through the pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on something like that, I think probably your eye gravitates to the top of it and not much else.
Without a question.
Yeah.
Without a question. I mean, a lot of guys, they come in, some guys, I'm thinking, why are you doing this restoration? Well, that's not up to me to tell them how to spend their money. It may be that my dad's first car, whatever, my first girlfriend, whatever its scenario may be. But again, what's the first question I ask? What are you trying to do with the car?
Yep.
And just like on your rocker moldings, we got them beautiful and bright. But my concern on something like that is let's work on the focal points. What hits the eye?
Yeah.
If we're not going for this concourse show, what hits the eye? So, like you just said, yes, it's up top. This is what everybody's going to see. You can on a vehicle like that, driver, or you just your number 2 car. They lay all the way down on the car. They're bright, like these pieces came out. You're going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's what pays the bills. But then clearly, talk to me. What I was blown away with, you've got 3 vehicles in here right now. Let's talk about that pickup, that GMC. Tell me how that's all transpiring, what you're doing with it.
All these years, I've created cars that we're going to Pebble Beach, Amelia Island. We're generating winners every year. I'm watching and watching. I love vehicles. Of course, you have to have some kind of love for this. And so it's actually kind of a mistake to get into what I was doing and trying to start building cars, because honestly, when you're an expert at one thing, you should just stay with that. You should just stay with that. I guess fortunately, I have the knowledge that I can find new ways of doing things. I can transfer this over to that. But absolutely a mistake to get into it. Trying to do all these different things is crazy.
Yeah. Where'd you find the truck, and what you've taken it to a resto model?
Actually, I bought that truck and it was just going to be, I do this with every car. And that's the problem. That's how we go so far over budget. It was just going to be a quick little GMC, something to bop around in.
Okay.
I got it to the shop here, and I bought a new bumper for the front of it. I had one of my guys put that bumper on for me. I want to see what it looks like. So we put the bumper on. I noticed it's got a little tilt to it. What'd you do? You have it on wrong? No, I bolted it up exactly. Then we find out the frame was bent. I'm like, what'd I get into? So I have a couple options. I can dump this and move on, or I can lose a lot of money. So what I wound up doing with the truck is we took it off the frame, and I found an 86 Blazer frame. So now we took what was a 1965 GMC, and I put it on a Blazer frame. So now it's a 4-wheel drive truck as well.
Nice.
I have fuel injected Corvette power in there, and I've seen you walked around the truck with me.
Yeah.
Everything is custom made. The rear bumper's custom made. The whole bed is custom made. All the trim on the vehicle's custom made. The whole interior is up to, I try to bring everything to today's driving standards. So when you get into the interior, I have 2 different screens. One is for your stereo and your navigation, things of that nature. The second screen is if you throw the left turn signal on, I have cameras everywhere. Throw the left turn signal on, it's going to show you what's next to you, just like a new Lexus or something like that. That's kind of why I got into this. I just love to let my creativity run wild and build what's in my head.
Yeah, very cool. And it helps to have a full metalworking.
Yeah, it does help to have that.
Yeah. And then this is an interesting bit of kit over here behind the camera. What's going on with that?
Well, that's a one-off vehicle. It's kind of a replica of the Bugatti, the 1935 Bugatti. That's why the fin runs all the way down the whole top of the vehicle.
That is a huge design element of it.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, again, I have Corvette fuel injected power. That's a runner. The car's a runner. It's just finishing it up right now. Again, build out of your head and just go with it. I mean, there's not going to be anything on the road that looks anything like that when it's finished.
Okay. I'm getting a C4 chassis vibe on that one, or is it?
Well, you know what? Fortunately, throughout the years, I'd work all day, and once the internet became, I'd come home and I'd scroll all night long, and I had a love for the cars, so I would find these vehicles, and fortunately, like the GMC truck, I found a Corvette that was totaled with 565 miles on it.
What year?
That was a 1986
Okay,
that we
that
used
is
in
a
that.
Ford.
What a win. I bought it, I held it, and I mean, it's a great power plant. Is it like putting a brand new LS3 in it? No, it's not, but it would throw way out of budget to do something like that.
But LT1's a good motor.
Oh, good motor. It's going to run beautiful.
Oh, that's fantastic. That'll have some presence. I love the...
Without a question.
Yeah. And then the third car is... I absolutely love the car. Color. What's that color called?
That color is Chemelin.
Chemelin. Okay.
Yes, it's Chemelin, and it's a green color.
Love it.
It's got metallic. It's one of the hardest paints to deal with.
I believe it.
Because if you shoot the paint, you really can't even fine sand this with a 1500. It winds up disturbing the metallic.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, it has to almost be perfect out of the gun.
Wow.
And I'm a metal man, and I'm a metal man, but we get it done somehow. We get it done somehow.
And that, what are you running in that? I see the frames over here.
Well, that's sitting on a Roadster shop frame.
Okay. Very nice.
Which the Roadster shop company is just pretty amazing. And then I have a brand new LS3 in it. 8-speed electronic transmission.
Wow.
It's an amazing vehicle. It's an amazing vehicle.
Similar treatment you did with a GMC, you're going to do with the...
This is going to be a step further than the GMC. This is going to be a step further than that.
Very cool.
Right.
Can't wait to see it. Well, Marty, I can't thank you enough.
Pleasure again, Rudy.
Likewise.
Thanks, man. Anytime.
I'm not going to say go Birds.
And I won't say go Bills.
Fair enough.
You know what? I'll give it to you. Go Bills.
I'll give it to you too. Until, if they're both in the Super Bowl, we'll go from there. But,
exactly.
Yeah. And it's phenomenal seeing your shop, opening it up for me, taking the time out of your day to do this. And is there any contact information? We've been talking about you being word of mouth. Do you want to put it out there?
You can put our if you want to put our phone number out there, it's 267-226-1284.
And I'll put a link in the description to Marty's website, NEL Restorations, metal restorations.
That's
right?
correct, right?
And you can find that and the first question you're going to get from them is, what are you trying to do with the car?
Right. And it's the right question to ask. If not, it's all about the dollar, and that's not what we are.
So thank you for fixing our horrendous parts. That's funny, and I do appreciate it. So thanks, and we'll be in touch with some other parts, I think.
Sounds great, Rudy. Thank you.
All right.